Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Clayton Dembski Show, the Big Clayt podcast, Average Joe's talk space, whatever we want to call it. We'll come up with something permanent, but for now, we'll call it Big Clayt's podcast tonight. Today is May 26th, Tuesday night here, a little past 9:30 p.m. on the Pacific West Coast here. Pretty quick little blast coming today. Had a real nice day. Just wanted to get some thoughts out and keep the momentum rolling as we search for the ultimate form of expression. So we're going to dive right into it. A couple of main points on the old list today of things I may want to talk about. Maybe some bonus content at the end. We'll see how inspired I'm feeling here a little bit before bed. But we're just going to check off, go right down the list. So point number 1 today. I wrote breaking bread is a big part of blue zones. And if you're familiar with blue zones, there are different places around the world where people tend to be healthier, live longer. There's a bunch of different reasons for, why researchers, scientists, or whoever's studying them, may believe that's the case. But I firmly believe that a big part of that is that those people in those blue zones are breaking bread with one another. They're sitting down, they're enjoying a meal, they're talking, they're with their family, their friends, multi-generations of family all come together, and they eat and they drink and they enjoy each other. And so I think that's a really important part of life and something I'm very grateful for amongst my family and amongst my friends, and something that I'm striving to do more of. So in order to do more of that in today, I marinated a chicken, brought it over to my buddy's house. He lives down the road. Recently brought a truck. If you tuned in the last episode, you heard all about it. And I used the truck, threw the barbecue, the charcoal, the whole chicken, brought a rice cooker, some chicken stock, some rice. Just made a little chicken and rice meal for me and the homeboy. His dad was over there too, so we got to all hang out, chat it up, have a nice little meal. Watch the Spurs lose to the Thunder. Really wish Wembanyama came through for a Game 5 victory, but, can't win them all. So that's where we're at. It was good to break bread today. Good to share some art in the form of cooking and just get to relax and decompress a little bit over a nice meal with some good people. So it's a beautiful part of life. Recommend you do more of it if you're not. And if you don't have people to break bread with, go look for someone. Go meet someone in the park. Bring 2 apples instead of 1 and offer one to somebody. They'll probably think it's drugs or something else, but you can only try. So that's number 1. Break bread. Big part of the blue zones, in my opinion. Big part of healthy lifestyle. Good to do. Need more of that in our community. I think back to growing up. I, being a red-blooded American, was raised in a household where we sat down and ate dinner a lot of nights, which was wonderful. Didn't do it as much, as I got older, but it's a really good part of life and something that I think people should do, even when things feel stressful, even when things feel like you don't have time for it or it's not important. It is important. So get to it, break some bread with some loved ones. Point number 2. I wrote that sunshine and movement is such a blessing. 2 things that are completely free. They're accessible to anybody who lives somewhere where the sun shines. I happen to be in Northern California, beautiful place for it, very blessed and grateful for that opportunity. But it's something you should take advantage of, especially if you work a corporate job or if you are doing something that keeps you inside a lot of the day, getting out for some sunshine, moving your body, letting the chi flow, absorbing some vitamin D, all really good things that keep you healthy, keep you happy, and I think are just really pure and good for the soul of the human. I don't think it's natural the way we live these days. I'm sitting behind, I've got a screen here, a screen here, a screen here, a phone and a camera here. I've got another screen and a camera here. Mayhem. And it's good, it helps, good technology, but really important to get back to those roots and, do a little bit of caveman cosplaying, if you will. So I got out this morning, nice little 8.5 mile hike, 2 hours, 10 minutes, about 2,000 feet of elevation. Absolutely beautiful. There's the movement. It was windy. It was a little cold, but it was sunny. you're absorbing that vitamin D. So get out there, go for a walk, get your feet in the sand, get your feet in the grass. It's really good for you. Give it a try. If you hate it, you won't. But if you hate it, fucking do it every other week or every other day. You should do it more than every other week. But yeah, take the advice, leave the advice. Don't care. I'm doing this for me. Number 3 on the list is that gratitude is very powerful. And I think real gratitude and truly being grateful for what you have, whether that's a lot, whether that's a little, there's something you can find gratitude for in your life. And I truly believe that real gratitude makes life so much more enjoyable. And really what I mean by that is that there's fake gratitude. There's people who say thank you, and, act in maybe some sort of grateful way. But real gratitude to me is about really, really appreciating things for what they are, being grateful for how things exist in their current state. Even if you want to change them, even if you want to improve them, it's important to recognize where things are and be grateful for what you have in the moment. For example, I want to get in better shape. I want to be healthier. I want to be more fit. And I recognize that while I still have those goals to get to, and there's a lot of work to be done, I am also very grateful for my physical body, for example, right now. Grateful for the opportunity to be able to go out, to move it, to get in that sunshine, to get my feet in the grass, feet in the sand. And you really enjoy life if you're truly grateful, because gratitude to me is kind of the opposite of, the trope or the saying around comparison being the thief of joy. Doesn't matter what anybody else has. If you're grateful for what you have, you're going to truly enjoy your life more and, really take advantage of all the things that are present to you, focusing on what is and what is available as opposed to focusing what is not available or not currently present in your life. So again, take it or leave it. Doing this for me, not for you. But it's helped me out and maybe some value in it there. Number 4. This has 4 subpoints on it, but these are just some of my inspirations lately and some things that I'm going to implement right away, starting as soon as the end of this podcast. As soon as this wraps up, I got a couple action items before I get to bed. But number 1, something that's been inspiring me lately is the idea of goal setting, which includes physically writing down your goals, establishing a reward system for yourself, which includes, progress checks, milestones, rewards along the way. I saw some social media post about marathon runners and how important it is for them, not only to have a crowd of people encouraging them, not only to have runners, challenging them and trying to be faster than them and keeping them motivated, but also having goals along the way. As soon as you reach a mile, there's a one sign. You finish mile 2, you pass the 2 sign, and so on. And just those little progress checks along the way that keep you motivated and keep you headed towards your goal. And also a reminder of how far you've come. When mile 20 rolls around, I've only run a half, haven't done a whole. So when mile 10 rolls around, for example, it's easy to look at how hard it is to do 3 more miles for that half marathon. But if you're able to reshift the focus towards, well, I've already done 10 and you have that milestone, it's a good way to keep the motivation going and get you through the finish line. So that's something I want to get better at, is goal setting, writing them down, having reward systems established, and then also along with the milestones is having those goals set up so that I know, or the rewards for each goal and each milestone set up so that I know what I'm getting as I achieve those, and I can, constantly keep trekking along the journey and stay motivated. So kind of botched that explanation, but the point is to set yourself up for success before diving into things, or as you dive in. Never too early to dive into things, but you're going to achieve goals better if you have a nice structure of how you're going to achieve that and what that looks like and how you're going to stay motivated. The next subpoint here is that if you try really hard and you give it your all, then you really can't walk out a loser. You're going to win every time. And what that win looks like may be different. You can think of a sports analogy. You can try your hardest and you can still lose the game. But you're still winning at that point. Life isn't always about being objectively number one. It's about being the best that you can be, and wherever you shake out is where you shake out. But if you truly are trying your hardest and doing your best, then you're a winner, truly. And yeah, had some other thoughts on it, but that's really the main point. Just try, and you're going to win. Number 3 was some motivation I found recently about discipline, and the idea that discipline on its own is not enough. And I've never really thought about it from that angle, but I think it's true, because discipline without, actually enjoying the process, or discipline for the sake of discipline, it's good and everything, but it burns out over time. And I think it's important to have an underlying motive, or an underlying, what would be the right word for it? I guess really what I'm trying to say is you have to enjoy what you're doing, right? You have to want what you're doing. In my personal case, let's say trying to get in shape. Like, if I just say that I'm going to be disciplined and I'm just going to the gym for the sake of discipline and for the sake of saying I went today, and eventually I'm going to burn out. And the reason for that is because I wouldn't be truly wanting and falling in love with the process of achieving what I want to ultimately be. I wrote a note here that says, fall in love with the gym, love the hell out of healthy foods, commit to it, and truly enjoy what used to feel like a sacrifice. And if you're able to do that, you're going to achieve your goals with ease. And I firmly believe that. And I think about the times in my life that I didn't have a good plan. I didn't, fall in love with what I was really doing, and was instead just kind of acting in a disciplined manner in order to build discipline. And, it kind of pairs back to the goal setting at the beginning of what I talked about. But really, again, it boils down to wanting the outcome so much that you fall in love with the process. And I know it's cliche and everybody says, look at the journey, not the destination, all that hoopla. But it's true. You have to want what you're doing. You can't look at everything in a negative light. And I kind of think of it all in sort of a spiritual vibration energy, and in that light, where it's a higher vibration to fall in love with the process, to truly love the grind, the hustle, whatever you want to call it, the hard work, the discipline. It's a higher vibration to truly love that and to enjoy it, and to want to get up and push yourself and do hard things, not for the sake of doing hard things, but because that's what you actually want to do. On the flip side, if you don't have that and you are just, doing something for the sake of discipline, it's just going to be harder. You're going to burn out. And like I said earlier, it's going to feel like a sacrifice, which is ultimately a lower vibration activity in general, as I see it. Again, take it or leave it. Tell me to fuck off. I don't care. It's for me, not you. But it's very important, right? I don't want to be making sacrifices when I go to the gym. I don't want to make a sacrifice when I, eat a arugula salad with some lean ground beef instead of a slice of pizza for lunch. Because the reality is, it's not a sacrifice. I'm not sacrificing my burning passion to eat shitty food all day. What I'm really doing is I'm shifting my mindset. I'm shifting my internal self to believe and to fall in love with the idea that I am a better representation of maximization than a previous version of myself. And that's not a sacrifice. It would be a sacrifice if I felt that objectively it was better to be a fat slob than it is to be jacked and fit and tan, right? But it's really not a sacrifice. One is better for the soul, is better for the human self, is a maximized version of one's being, whereas the other is, I guess really when I think about it, it's almost the exact opposite, right? You're really sacrificing all the goodness that you could achieve if you made the right choices, and instead allowing yourself to sacrifice that in exchange for a quick dopamine hit or a shitty short-term solution or whatever it may be. So don't sacrifice, right? No one's asking you to sacrifice. If you think, you can't, I don't know, you can't go booze all night because you got to wake up for a workout. If that's a sacrifice to you, then you're losing the battle. You're already set up to fail. If instead you look at that and go, no, I'm not sacrificing anything, but rather I'm choosing the best thing for me, then that's the path forward that I think you ought to take. And I think that's where real discipline and motivation comes from. It's when there's holistic alignment from the inside all the way to the outside, from where you are today all the way until the end goal. So chew on that for a little bit, you fat slobs. I'm just kidding. I've been a fat slob. Insert picture here. All right, we're back. But yeah, have discipline for the sake of achieving what you truly want and falling in love with the process and enjoying it. I don't want to say don't, but I don't think it's best to make sacrifices as opposed to committing to what you really want and going after it and getting it and loving the hell out of it along the way. So good segue into my fourth point here, fourth sub point of main point number 4, which is to have conviction and commit. This is a pretty simple one. I think a lot of young men, between the ages of, I don't know, anywhere from 20 to 30 and plenty older, plenty younger too, I'm sure, but really in that 20 to 30 range. I think a lot of young men, myself included, and maybe I'm projecting because it is how I feel. Excuse me. But having conviction and committing to something, whatever it is, maybe it's a passion, maybe it's a job, whatever it is, if you're truly into it and you have conviction, you commit to it, you're going to crush it. And I haven't really done that yet. And, there's some things I can point to where I've really committed and, they're the areas of my life that are in a good place. But at the same time, I wouldn't call it regret because I've learned from everything that I've done in my life and, try and piece it together to be the best version of myself that I can. But there are things that, in an alternate universe, it'd be interesting to see what would happen had I kept real conviction internally and fully committed to it. Whether that's, relationships, whether that's career, whether that's sports, hobbies, music making, fucking podcasting, who knows, whatever it is, cooking. I love to cook, whatever, all of those things. If you really have conviction, you commit to it, you're going to be successful. And I think it's really important for young men to do that. Young men, young women, young people in general, to find something you love and really go after it. All the people that are of the mindset that if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life, are usually people who have conviction for what they want to do. They know themselves, they know what they want, and they commit to it and they go get it. So I'm figuring out what that's going to be. But having conviction and committing is a really cool thing. So those are the main points. Already running longer than expected, per usual, as if it isn't the second episode of all time. But a little bonus content, back to the breaking bread. The chicken I cooked was amazing. I marinated it in Japanese barbecue sauce. If you're familiar with bakan or bachan, I don't know how to pronounce it, but they've got it at Costco and it's delicious. Pretty clean ingredient, Japanese barbecue sauce. Tremendous marinade for chicken, tremendous marinade for steak. Probably really good on shrimp. I've never tried it. Really good though. Really, really good. And put the bird, did a spatchcock, butterflied it open, lifted up the skin, got the marinade, put the chicken upside down in a big silver bowl last night. Marinated nearly 24 hours and just delicious. I'm going to go ahead and drop a picture in, maybe a little video as well of that chicken, but so good. And maybe that is one thing that I have had conviction about and committed to is cooking, culinary exploration, development of recipes. I've got a quarter of a cookbook written that I need to get back to and need to do more work on. I've got a lot of recipes up in the dome that I've been making the last couple of years that I think would make a really cool cookbook, and give a little bit of a peek into the mind of a young man who eats for pleasure, as well as for nutrition, as well as for, communal connection, right? There's a lot of different good reasons to eat good food, eat good, healthy food, and break bread with those around you that you love. So that's probably it for today. A little bit of a quicker one, gonna get to bed. A little bit of rambling here, but quick summary. Blue zones. If you want to be healthy, I mean, there's a bunch of different things to do, but part of being healthy, in my opinion, part of living a fulfilled, long-lasting life and feeling good is breaking bread with community, breaking bread with family and friends, and sharing those connections, having that time to just sit back, relax, and enjoy some good food and some good company. And it also happens to be something that you have to do. You have to eat as a human. So unless you're that fucking Brian Johnson guy who probably just injects food somehow, and that guy's going to live till infinity, but I prefer to eat personally. Just me. Shout out Brian Johnson. Big respect. Guy's literally going to live to 200 years old and it's sick, but I enjoy to sit down with family and friends and eat food. Also, I'm kidding. He probably doesn't inject his food. He probably eats, but whatever. Summary point number 2, sunshine and movement. Such a blessing. It's free. You can do it a lot of the time. I guess depends where you live. You know, if you live in Alaska, kind of brutal in the winter, but who's lives in Alaska? Not a lot of people. And if you do live in Alaska, you get your whole sunshine for 6 months of the year. That's enough for the year. It's not, but you get what I'm saying. You probably don't get what I'm saying. Rambling, bullshit. Anyway. Point number 3, gratitude is powerful, very powerful, keeps things in perspective, and honestly just leads to more happiness. And gratitude is in my opinion, the opposite of comparison being the thief of joy. If you're grateful for what you have, by nature, you're not looking at what you don't have. You're just looking at what you do have, which is going to make you feel better and feel happier. And real gratitude makes life so enjoyable. If you actually enjoy and you appreciate and you love what you do have, you can't have bad days, I mean, here or there, whatever, sure. But overall, you're going to be living in a good place. Number 4, and 4 subpoints in summary: goal setting, reward systems, progress checks. Very important. That's how I'm going to achieve all of my goals. Consider it done in respect to the real law of assumption. I achieved all my goals because I wrote them down, because I set up reward systems, because I set up progress checks along the way to keep me motivated, and I kept myself on track with a good structure. If you try your hardest, you win no matter what. I don't need to say any more on that. It's a wonderful, wonderful sentiment. Discipline burns out if you don't truly want it. Give up your sacrifices. Let go of sacrifices. You're not sacrificing things to make yourself better. You're actively choosing the good over the bad to achieve your goals. And last but not least, have conviction and commit, whatever it is. Maybe it's getting 1% better each day. Maybe it's racking up $1 million in the bank. Maybe it's starting a business. Whatever it is, have conviction, commit to it, and go get it done. And I think that's it for tonight. Godspeed. Be well. Love yourself. Love each other. Honor God. Be great. I think that's it. Deuces.